Hello, good evening. Welcome to Talking Sheffield with me, Simon Thake. On the show tonight, we have real-life Ghostbusters. I'm chatting to the lads from NP Paranormal. They're in the studio here in Sheffield. Later on, we're talking about SHAF. It's in its 10th anniversary year, Sheffield Adventure Film Festival, and we have two filmmakers coming in to chat about their work. All of that on tonight's Talking Sheffield. Gentlemen, good evening. Thank you so much for coming into the studio. So we have Dave Newton and Carl Porter. Have I got that right?
That's right, yes.
And you make up NP Paranormal.
That's correct.
Right. Tell us, who is NP? Well, we know who is. What is NP Paranormal? How did it start?
Well, we started about 2 years ago. Got chatting at work about paranormal, scary stories, what people have told us and stuff.
Okay.
From that, we decided to obviously look more into it, watch more shows.
And when you say the paranormal, what kind of stuff are we talking about? Are we just talking about ghosts? Are we talking about all that kind of mystery and uncertainty?
Myself and Carl are actually into paranormal itself. We're the ghosts and everything paranormal. We're just interested in ghosts at the minute, aren't we? Just cover this subject first. And then it will come up to Carl's birthday, and his wife bought him a voucher?
It was a voucher ghost hunt.
Okay.
She knew that I was interested in the subject.
And you were saying this was in Derby, so someone in Derby does a ghost hunt?
Yeah, the Derby jail, medieval jail, where people used to get hung for crimes that they committed.
So were you there taking notes, really sort of into this?
Yeah, mentally, yeah.
Okay.
And I decided, I think my wife was quite upset because I said I'm taking Dave from work. I think she wanted to go as a husband-wife type thing.
It's perhaps not the most romantic date ever, in fairness, but okay.
Well, it wasn't in such a way. But yeah, I decided to take Dave. We enjoyed it that much. We'd come up with some stuff at work in a dark room where we was working, and we decided to do it ourselves.
But that sounds like you thought, okay, we could scare people more than this, but that isn't the extent to what you do, because you guys are investigating the paranormal as well, so it isn't just about scaring people, am I right?
We're just currently for evidence purposes only, which is why we created live stream and did live stream, because there's paranormal teams out there who film the stuff and edit it and all sorts like that, where we want to show real, raw and live footage. So whatever we get, we show it live, and live interaction with the viewer as well.
We've got some footage we're going to show later on, because before we get into this, I'm just curious about what the next step would be. So you've gone to this ghost tour in Derby, you chatted about what scares you, and then what's the next step? How do you sort of advertise yourself, market yourself? I guess, how do you sort of get people to take you seriously?
Social media is a big thing. Obviously, the scepticism which surrounds it. Obviously, people don't believe in the paranormal, which is why we went into live. So obviously, if you get some evidence which we can't explain, it's the paranormal. So then you can discuss it live as well.
Editing, anything like that. Obviously, people can just see it live happening, so they know. Obviously, it's legit.
So you were there witnessing. So before you went on this ghost tour, had either of you seen a ghost in real life or heard something that you thought, can't explain this?
Not at that point, no. I've had stuff when I was younger, which I'd never explained or never dived into any deeper. It wasn't at the point where we decided to create his own little group and says, right, we're gonna have a go at this, we're gonna do his own thing now. And then we'd start to dive in, buying equipment, going on stuff. We've got 4 members now in our team, so we're growing as well. We're using social media to grow as a group. And there's opportunities coming at us now, which is making us stand out a bit more.
And are people approaching you and saying, okay, there's something creepy in my house, I live in an old house, I can't explain it, there's a weird noise?
Yeah, we've had 2 domestic properties to investigate. One of them in particular was quite interesting at the time.
So what was the call?
The call I got out was actually to say, basically, I think I've got something in my house, can you come and help me and find out whether or not I actually have? And that's what we did. Basically.
And what, had they seen something or they just heard something?
It was mainly a daughter what was seeing stuff, hearing stuff, faces on ceiling, things like that, which was obviously scaring the little girl. We decided to come along and just tell her definitely whether or not it is actually haunted.
And how do you tell them, like, how do you decide once and for all if something's haunted? I know you've got some kits here.
A range of equipment, we haven't got it all here today.
Go on, talk us through a bit of your kit then, what have we got here?
So, for starters, we specialise in EVPs. So these are electrical voice phenomena.
Electrical voice phenomena.
Yeah, voices that obviously you can't hear with the human ear, but for some reason sensitive recorders pick it up.
And that's what those are, they're just really sensitive microphones.
So what we do, we have 2 recorders when we're doing EVP, i.e. asking questions. so you're questioning whatever's around. And obviously these two are recording at the same time. Then when we review it live, we review one at a time, and sometimes we get recording off that one but not on that one, but it can't be explained at the time.
I think we've got some, I think it's probably quite a nice one. We've actually got some footage here where we can pick up some audio as well, so perhaps this is the way this is recorded. If we play this footage, we've got a creepy looking old house and some nice audio footage as well, so we'll maybe put this on and you can talk us through it afterwards.
Go with any spirits that reside in this residence. I'd like to step forth and make yourself known. I'd like to talk to this orange light and tell me your name. Is William here? Have you got a message for one of these lads? Do you want to scratch one of us?
Is your William here? Do you own these lands?
Well, there we go. I heard a lot of rustling, and I heard. So one of you is saying, you are speaking to whoever, saying, "Is William there?" That's one of you guys, is it?
Yeah, that was you. That was me, wasn't it? Yeah.
So Dave, when you're there, you are speaking out, asking whoever it is to respond, and presumably you're not hearing anything at the time.
No.
So you're just a man standing in the house and sort of speaking to yourself in effect, until you get back and listen to the tape. Is that what's gone on there?
That's exactly what's happened. Yeah, that was actually this recorder what captured that EVP.
Yeah.
And what did we hear there? What was he saying to you?
It was saying thank you. What's interesting about that EVP is that we met some local youths there from Derby. There was about 6 or 7 of them. So we all got them in a circle, and we was in a circle. And we're showing them what we do in EVPs. And obviously we got that. And then when we played it back, they all heard thank you as well. But they knew that nobody said anything. So there was like flabbergasted by it. It was like, what?
And what would you like? Because some people are going to be watching this, aren't they? And they're going to think, "Oh, come on, lads! You've gone home, you've doctored the audio, you've had a bit of fun with it, you've done a bit of scratching, and you're rustling a paper."
Yeah.
What would you say to those guys?
That's why we live stream.
Log into live stream.
Okay.
Watch us every Friday, and then comment.
So go on, where can people watch the live stream then?
So it's Android phone or Apple phone. Download the app, live stream, log in, we email and password, and then search for MP Paranormal. And then every time we do an event, it gets emailed to you saying that we'll be live streaming on Friday at such time, and you can watch it on your phones.
So people will be watching, but how will you know where to go? Like, how do you know where's a sort of creepy place to go where there's going to be loads of activity?
We'd normally do quite a bit of research.
Just research into the location.
2 or 3 days before we actually go on live stream. So obviously we do a lot of research about where we're going to go, what's been hit before and what haven't, and then
I'm sorry, I was going to say, the people, we mentioned earlier about the mum with the little girl, and I interrupted you because I wanted to show this clip. But people are coming to you as well and saying that. Can you resolve that for me? Because you were talking through your kids. What happened with that sort of voices, and what did you discover in that house?
Basically, we get the confirmation about what actually happened. That voice, what we got, was just unbelievable. Merry Christmas, obviously around Christmas time, so that was even better. The fact that it said Merry Christmas.
That's what you heard when you played back.
That's correct.
Yeah.
From that, basically, we said, look, you have got something. And then, because at the first, she thought it might have been negative energy, what she didn't want that in her house. We actually came along, did her stuff, and we got captured somewhat said Merry Christmas, so that's not too bad, I don't think.
Because I'd be
regards,
thinking,
not negative.
that's great. Like, you lads have come along, and I was worried that there might be some sort of ghostly presence in there. You've confirmed that there is. Now what? I want someone to get rid of it for me.
She said that to us, and we said basically we can tell you whether or not it's haunted. As regards getting rid of it, we can't really do that.
And is she okay with that?
We
She knows
actually
she's living in a haunted house?
We contacted the good friends we made down at Derby Jail, and there's a medium down there who can do this kind of thing.
Cleansing.
Cleansing, things like that, yeah.
Okay.
And I've not spoke to the lady since, but I think he's been and done his bit. But as regards what's happened from that, we don't know just yet. She's not contacted us.
Talk us through. I'm really impressed that you've got the uniforms on tonight. When did you get the uniforms as well? This is official NP Paranormal hoodies.
Yeah, it was just to make us have all uniforms, look a bit more professional.
Absolutely.
When we're getting out and about. Obviously, there's some stuff that we want on it. Because we're from Yorkshire, we want the Yorkshire rose on it, so there's stuff to be added. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Like stripes every time we hit in a location.
Yeah.
And are there places in Yorkshire that you haven't sort of explored properly yet? Like, are you getting calls, or there's buildings or sort of areas that you think, okay, they've got activity here, I need to get my recording equipment there? Where have you got your eye on?
There's a lot of quite a big venues.
It's hard to get into some because most of them, the big ones, they charge a lot of money to get inside of it. And obviously we do our stuff on a shoestring and try and get through it and get a programme out on live stream that will interest people. And obviously with live interaction, we involve everybody else in the investigation. So within like locations, it's trying to find somewhere where we can just get in and do what we need to do and then get out. The Sheffield Police Fire Museum, which we want to go to do a live stream.
Why there?
That is quite renowned for activity.
Okay.
Very, very much.
There's been sightings or audio?
There's been lots of sightings. I mean,
it's been on TV.
Paranormal groups have been in quite a few of them in the past, and obviously we want to do that at some point. So that should be good.
We'd like to do a live stream, not edited, pre-recorded. We'd like to do our live stream, so it's all live, and then everybody can talk to us.
So on the live stream, are people? What are people watching? Like, you've got cameras at the location as well?
They're watching me and Dave.
Okay.
Richard and Mike.
Run it through us
also,
phones,
so we're like presenting it as well. We're talking through what we're going to be doing, what equipment we're using, what we're looking to get, and then we're asking people to find evidence on the location that we're at. So we're involving them straight into the investigation.
But what's confusing me, because you were saying that when you come back is often not until you kind of return home and have a proper listen to the audio that you actually pick up some of these voices. On the live stream, would you be picking it up live though?
Yes, we do it live. We review live, so we play it straight away live, and then people are listening to that as well. So we're listening to audio, they're listening to it, and if they agree with us what the voice was, and then everyone agrees then.
Have you got, I'm imagining this is the sort of thing that there's people far and wide around the world who are interested in the paranormal. Am I right? Is it the sort of thing where you've got kind of people getting in touch with you from other places in Britain or across the globe?
America and New Zealand, we've got viewers.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So they are watching when you do a live stream and feeding back. And what sort of feedback do you get? And are they asking you to come over to New Zealand and explore things?
They absolutely love it. They think it's real, raw, and it's beautiful. It's, you know, the concept of it. Because everybody's doing the same thing. We pre-recorded and edited it.
All positive.
Whereas we're standing out at the moment because we're live, and then we're involving them as well. So it's just fantastic. It works all around for us.
Have you been in a situation where you've ever thought, "Oh, actually, I'm a bit out of my depth here. I'm a little bit scared." Like, have you ever thought, "Hold on, this is a bit too creepy for me"?
Yeah, there has been.
I've had a creepy moment. I have personally.
Go on, talk us through it.
And that was when it was just me and Dave at Scarsdale, and it was when I took a step. And it was like all paranormal investigators feel it at some point in the investigations. It was like somebody just electrocuted me.
And so where were you?
Sutton Scarsdale in Derbyshire. It's like an abandoned manor house, which is really nice. And it felt like somebody electrocuted me all up my back and all up the back. And it was a crazy feeling because I grabbed hold of Dave and was on his own at night, you know what I mean? So it was like two guys in dark with recorders.
It wasn't just Dave playing a prank, wasn't he, was it?
No. Thank God. And yeah, it felt so weird. It was like, ooh.
And did you capture something audio-wise that you could hear back later?
We did on the first one. I had a sinister laugh on the first one we ever did at Scarsdale.
Okay.
Because I was asking it that this is my house and I'd like you to vacate, please. And it laughed at me.
That's a bit worrying, isn't it?
Quite creepy, that.
That doesn't make me feel that presence is going to leave that house.
And that's the moment where I was like, oh, hang on a minute.
It was how the laugh was as well. It wasn't a cheeky laugh, was it? It was a sinister, I'm going to get you kind of laugh. So it went very nice at all.
And this was before live stream as well. So
that's before we met Buzz and Mike.
Before we evolved into what we are now, you know.
And what would be like, so, you know, in years to come, how big would you like this to be? Are you kind of proper Ghostbusters? You want to be picking up the phone and people to call you up and kind of be shooting around town?
We want to go in. We want to go in head deep. We would like a slot on a TV channel at some point for live streaming, for live interaction, social media, the lot. So everyone's getting involved in the investigation. And then they pick where we go next time. So it's in their hands, it's in the viewers' hands.
And where have you got lined up in the next year? Have you got any specific places that people have called you up and said, I need you to investigate?
We're going on to, with the lads down at Derby Jail again, because they've got a lot of things cracking off, and we'd like to do the Alton Towers.
Oh,
That's hopefully next year.
Because of some of those old buildings on the Alton Towers ground?
Really are, yeah. They're really ancient as well, so they're quite interesting and they're quite good to do, so we'd like to get involved with that as well. And
then what about you, Dave? Have you ever seen do you ever feel like you've seen a ghostly presence yourself, either when actually, you know, fully kitted out with your NP Paranormal hat on, or sort of in your day-to-day life?
The things what we capture is probably not what you see in movies. People get this perception of you're going to get pounced on, things like that. It's not like that. What you normally catch is something out of the corner of your eye, or mil EVPs. We get a lot of those. So that's confirmation for us. We see things quite often where we think, yeah, have we seen something? Have we not? But if we don't catch it on as digital recorders, anything like that, then basically it's just us saying that we have or we haven't, kind of thing. So if we got EVPs, which are brilliant for that kind of things, that's evidence straight away. So as regards seeing stuff, it's merely out the corner of your eye, things like that. It's never really a full-on, like you see in the movies, never really like that.
But who do you think is responsible for this? Like, who do you think you're capturing? Are they, because the old classic in the film, isn't it, I want you out of my house type thing?
Yeah.
What do you think is going on there? Like, who do you think it is?
Well, this is the beauty of the paranormal. There's no experts within the field. We're all out there searching for evidence of what might be there or what is there. So we believe it's energies or some form of energy that we're catching, because obviously you can measure it with EMF meters, which is electromagnetic field. So you can measure that, and you can turn all your electricity off, and then suddenly you'll get in an one's location that is an EMF reading, and that is just unexplainable because there's no EMF in that area. So you can measure it. You could take full spectrum digital stills as well, which is another piece of equipment what we use in the job. So in pitch black you can take pictures. So that's all spectrum at light as well. So there's tools in the job to get what you need to get doing, and that's why, you know, we'll always say that there's no professional within the paranormal. It's just people who's got experience, basically.
And where can people give us a bit of a plug for your live stream again, and also where people can get in touch with you? You're on social media. You said Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, on Facebook,
we're
Twitter.
Quite active on social medias.
So NP Paranormal people should search for, and there'll be a link there to get to the live stream.
That's correct.
Chaps, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure to have you on. Hopefully some people have been at least entertained and informed, and if there are sceptics out there, you might have tweaked their mind a little bit. So thank you so much. Best of luck 2015. I hope you find some suitably creepy places, and we'll look out for that live stream as well.
Thanks for having us.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Simon.
Pleasure. Okay, after the break, join us for Shaft Chat. We're going to talk about Sheffield Adventure Film Festival. We have two fantastic filmmakers. So stay tuned, and I'll see you after the break.
So many never seem happy with what they've got. seems to be the only option.